Hi, it's Ben Weddell. Welcome back to Big Ben's Movie Show. I say back because I assume you've been watching all of them, haven't you? This week my guest host is Jake Davis. Jake, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Ben. Thanks for having me.
Good. Jake and I watched In the Heart of the Sea this week, a new movie from Ron Howard, again teaming with Chris Hemsworth like he did for Rush, also starring the new Spider-Man Tom Holland in the second male lead. Let's go ahead and take a look at the clip.
How does one come to know the sea's dark secrets? Monsters. Are they real? I want you to tell me what happened. Tell me the secret of the Essex.
I don't expect a writer to understand, Mr. Melville.
Promise me to come back.
I'll come back as quick as the summer's night, I swear it.
Normally, a captain gets to choose his first mate.
An experienced captain, yes.
Centuries before, sailors feared sailing off the edge of the earth.
All hands on deck!
But we were headed for the edge of sanity.
I believe you have seen things no one else has seen.
What is it? Abandoned ship. We can't row away home. We will surely perish out there. We might also survive. Don't you quit on me. We're going home.
Say you're scared! Say it!
As I live and breathe, he's mine.
So it's true.
Yes, too much is true.
Wow. Big stuff. Big whale. Jake, what did you think of the movie?
I really liked it, Ben. It really exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
I've never really been interested in the story of Moby Dick, but this kind of actually made me get into it. Started Googling stuff when I got home about it.
Yeah, no, I never read it in high school, never read it for any reason, and then I've never really been interested in the story. The reviews came out, and they were bad initially. In fact, they were still bad. I believe it was a 46% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a pretty bad score. But then you go see the movie, and it's clear that most of that score comes from the second half.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think the thing that we both noticed was the first half was so good and so much fun. And such a great ride.
It kept you hanging to see what the rest.
Yeah, I hung through the whole second half, anxious to see what they were going to do for a send-off, and there really wasn't much of one.
Not much of a finale, no.
No, not much of a finale. And this is the problem, though, with true life stories, I think, is that they don't, real life doesn't happen in a perfect 3-act structure of a movie. Where it's like,
you can always show what happens, yeah.
You might fix the problem, but it got worse, and then you overcome impossible odds to fix the problem. Real stories don't happen like that. Real stories happen like, there's a problem, maybe you fix it, maybe you don't. Move on to the next problem.
Maybe you die, and there is no rest of the story.
So this, because it didn't fit that traditional structure, I think it hurt it in terms of reviews. But the first half of this movie is visually amazing. The image of the whale, the graphics of the whale were astounding. The stuff with the ship was great. Even just watching them when they were catching other whales was really exciting, really fun. I don't feel like I'd seen that in a movie up until now. I'm a little worried too when they do all the whale hunting this stuff. I've seen a bunch of whale hunters and whale watchers or whatever it is on Animal Planet where they go attack the Japanese whaling boats and stuff. So I was a little worried that it's like, I'm going to be there cheering on, like, kill the whales! Kill them! And then I didn't. They killed a whale, and then they all took like a reflective, sad moment. And I was like, okay. Right. Kind of reminded me of Avatar when they kill the dog thing, and then they pray because, thank you, dog thing, for giving us your spirit. There was like a moment of quiet reflection
I get that.
when the blood of the whale mists over your face. That you kind of realize that this is an enormous and amazing creature, and we killed it.
It's almost a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, yeah. And so it's but honestly, the whales in this just looked amazing. There was pods of sperm whales, and the thing about that is that I'm a big ocean guy, and I've seen pods of whales. I've never seen a pod of sperm whales because sperm whales are very rare. Probably because Chris Hemsworth and Tom Holland killed them all.
There's some whaling going on.
So yeah, there was some whaling going on. But this was a great movie. They start off in a tiny whaling village. Then they all go out in search of whale oil. That's what the whole movie's about, is whale oil. It's about Herman Melville goes to one of the people that was on the boat in real life. Moby Dick is based on a real life story. So they went and talked to the guy. They get the story. They went out for whale oil, and they went and found all these whales. And the whales were almost protected by Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Now they don't say Moby Dick anywhere in this movie because this is years before he ever actually wrote the novel. But yeah, this is the real story of what happened, and it's actually more gruesome than the story of Moby Dick.
As we would find out.
As we find out, yeah. Apparently there was more that happened after the whale stuff that he asked him not to put in the book, and he didn't. And it's some pretty interesting stuff. Definitely, if you get the chance, don't buy the hype of the reviews. It's Ron Howard. The guy doesn't make bad movies. Go see it. Go check it out.
He made Apollo 13, so
he made Apollo 13. He's made a bunch of stuff that's great. Yeah, definitely. I think it's great. I would recommend seeing it, especially if you're a Hemsworth fan, if you're a ocean person fan. It's just good stuff. I really liked it. Also interesting too, they had a scene where Tom Holland, who's going to be Spider-Man in the upcoming Marvel movies, he's the rookie guy on the boat. And apparently it becomes his job when they can't get the whale oil out of the whale's head. That's where the whale oil is. It's in a cavity inside the whale's head. When they can't get it out, they send the smallest guy on the crew, him, and he's got to go into the head of the whale with a bucket and fish it out.
They didn't hold anything back.
They held nothing back. Yeah, they showed that kid inside the head of a whale.
You were aware of the anatomy of the whale.
It was like you can see the kid like almost throwing up the whole time he's in there, and you could really, I couldn't smell it, but I felt like I could smell it. It was coming in this. Yeah.
They put you in their place.
It might have been the guy next to me, but it felt like I was smelling the inside of that whale. That was gross. In terms of the reviews, though, the thing that seems to bother everybody is the last half, which is them surviving after the whale attack. And upon reflection, I can definitely see why this got old. It did. I mean, it's them just trying to survive, and that's really the last half of the movie. So that part was a little rough, but overall, I'd still say go see it. I still really enjoyed it.
Definitely.
It was a heck of a time, so I really liked that. But great. So that is our movie review for this week in the Heart of the Sea. Stick around after the show. We found video of the 1956 movie Moby Dick, and we're actually going to be airing that here after the show. Stick around and watch that, starring Gregory Peck from To Kill a Mockingbird and other such films. So he's actually been in 2 Moby Dick movies, I found out. And one of them he plays Ahab, and another one he plays one of the I think the first mate or something. Oh. So he really likes Moby Dick. He keeps coming back.
Likes that dick.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we're going to look at the classics. Now, Jake, we asked you to pick 3 classics, and I believe you picked Young Frankenstein. Mm-hmm. That was the first one. Now, what about Young Frankenstein works for you?
This was kind of the first movie that, I mean, there's plenty of movies you watch when you're growing up that make you laugh. Mm-hmm. This is the first movie that I could actually remember myself quoting. You know, you hear something kind of bad, and then you go back the next day at school and then quote it, and then you get in trouble because you said something kind of bad. Yeah. Like, what knockers, stuff like that.
Ah, yes.
And but this was kind of the first movie that I actually remember thinking, this is a funny movie, I want to watch this again.
Yeah.
And of course, any movie that's directed by Mel Brooks and has Gene Wilder in it, you can't really go
Can't miss.
wrong.
Can't miss. That's yeah.
And Marty Feldman is just great.
Marty
as
Feldman. Yep.
Igor, not Igor.
And I believe Frank Boyle is the monster.
Peter Boyle, yeah.
Peter Boyle. Peter Boyle. Thank you.
Ray Barone's dad.
Ray Barone's dad. Yeah. He's. If you don't know Peter Boyle's work, go look him up. The man's been in some amazing
He
stuff
was in
over
Taxi
the years.
Driver.
Taxi Driver, Dream Team. He was in. He was great in. He's really great stuff. This is a great movie. Funny story about this movie: the Aerosmith song "Walk This Way" came from this movie.
This way.
Igor says "Walk this way," and then proceeds to walk oddly, and then the
hands
rest
him
of the
his cane,
cast all walked oddly with him, and
They feel stupid afterwards.
they were recording one of their albums, and they went across the street to watch the movie at a theater. They all saw that, laughed about it, went back to the studio, and recorded the song.
It was the gift that keeps on giving.
The gift that keeps on giving, yeah. So it's so quotable, you could write a song about it.
Yeah.
But
There's
yeah.
even a musical that somebody has adapted since. Like there's a song
Yeah.
called "Roll, Roll, Roll in the Hay," things
Yep.
like that.
And it's interesting, this is actually the second time that someone has chosen this as their classic for the show. It's a very popular movie.
Oh,
And then
okay, very cool.
Last week we actually had another Mel Brooks classic, Spaceballs. People like Mel Brooks, man. Makes good stuff. Really good stuff. He's a great movie guy. Next one on the list, I believe, is The Shining. Am I
Either
right
The
about that?
Shining, yeah, or
Nope. Next one on the list is
Jaws.
Jaws. Jaws! We'll talk about The Shining later. It's
All
coming.
right, we'll go back.
But for now, we're going to talk about Jaws. Of course, this is a classic for everybody. My mom saw this as a kid, and she's one of those people that didn't go in the water. She saw this,
Yeah. Oh.
scared of sharks, and even years later, my dad got her her scuba diving license. She had to earn it in a pool because she was scared to go in the ocean. She's a licensed scuba diver, but just doesn't do it. Scared of sharks.
A lot of swimming in pools.
A lot of swimming in
All
pools.
right.
She's super good at it. She swim the hell out of a pool. What is Jaws to you? Why is this one of your classics?
Well, again, there's plenty of movies when you grow up that you remember, but this was the first movie I saw that actually scared me. Like, just the dark. You know, as you're a kid, you know, your imagination, anything can happen. It's like, I thought if I turned off the light, a shark will come out of the darkness. I mean, but really, you know, it's kind of embarrassing.
Those land
now.
sharks.
Yeah,
Now
you know, you gotta
Candygram.
watch out for them. But really, it was just like I
Flowers.
would go to sleep. Candygram. I would go to sleep, and you know, or if I pulled the covers over my head, there would be like a shark, you know, swimming up the bottom of the bed.
So the covers made it worse?
Yeah, couldn't.
No,
yeah.
the covers are the protective covering.
It was the other way around.
that
for
shield
me.
you from all the monsters outside.
Well, there was no boogeyman. You know, it was
Okay.
a shark.
See, it's messed up. I'm a grown ass man.
You
I'm
have to pull
quite
the
large,
covers over?
and yet, if I get that suspicious feeling that someone's breaking into my apartment, which I get all the time
All the
for some
time.
reason, it's sad. I will pull the covers up as if that will in some way protect me from another grown man.
Oh, it's bulletproof
yeah.
covers.
Oh, it's bulletproof. I'm assuming that he'll walk in and be like, "I'm here to kill everybody." Oh, there's only covers on the bed. There's no one here, and then
Damn
he'll
it,
just
they
leave.
have covers. I
He'll
must
just
go.
leave. That's what I'm really hoping for. Yeah. So yeah, I remember when I saw it, I was a little scared, but then my dad kind of told me, it was like, it never happens. But I also remember that years later we go abalone diving at Fort Bragg.
Okay.
About a month before we were going to go diving, someone died from a great white stag, and I was like 15,
Bad
and
time.
my mom, I'm like, all right, we're going to go dive.
Get out of
She's
the
like,
pool, kids. You know.
and she just, she's holding on to me with white knuckles, like, you can't, you'll die. She said that all the time anyway, but even more so because
To
of the
be,
ocean.
yeah, in that area, totally.
It was, but I've scuba dove in Australia, I've dove in other parts of the world.
Have you really?
I have. My first scuba dive was in Australia. I was 12 years old, and I saw
Well, don't
sharks.
say that all nonchalantly. I mean, come on, man.
I happened to be in Australia. I'm an Australian
Found
citizen.
yourself in Australia.
I'm an Australian citizen. I was going back and visiting home and stuff, and happened to be diving, and there are sharks down there. There's a lot of sharks down there, and I saw them, and they didn't eat me, as evidence of me being here.
Right.
So it's to me the sharks kind of stopped being scary, but the movie is wonderful. Richard Dreyfuss is amazing. Roy Scheider's amazing.
Robert Shaw.
Robert
is really
Shaw
good.
is really good in this. That's really those three. Those are the
Yeah,
people. When
yeah.
I think of this movie, I think of the three guys on the boat. We're going to need a bigger boat. It went underwater and it's got 2 barrels and it just kept
I
going.
got 3 barrels on him.
Yeah, just And then of course the score by John Williams, which will forever be known as the thing that happens right before someone sneaks up and kills you.
Two notes. Just 2 notes.
Have you ever been to Universal Studios? Have you seen Jaws?
When I was a little kid, I think I was 7. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I went when I was a kid. My aunt took
Shoots
me,
water actually.
and I saw King Kong, and I saw Jaws. Now King Kong is a video; they just show you a video when you go. But back in the day, King Kong was a giant.
Oh, it was a real.
Yeah, it was a
thing.
real thing, and he would and they'd pull the thing open, and he would reach in and try to grab at you and stuff. Jaws, of course, great classic movie. Our last classic that we're going to be looking at is The Shining, and of course, this is again. I mean, if we're talking about movies that scare you, that are great classic movies that everybody loves, this has got to be on the list. This is a huge one.
This scares me now.
Yeah,
I watch it.
there's parts of this that still scare me. So let me ask you this: what part of the movie is the most scary for you?
Initially, it was the girls standing at the end of the hallway.
Really?
Yeah, they just creeped me out.
Okay, see, that never bothered me. The little girls.
If it wasn't a shark grabbing me in the darkness, it was 2 little girls.
Two little twin girls.
Yep.
Like sharks, twins. So no, the part of the movie that really scares me is when he goes in that room, the room 237 or whatever it is.
Yeah, the
And there's
bathroom?
the bathroom. And the lady in the tub. Oh!
Okay,
it's-
that did
It is a
scare me,
documented fact on this show. I have a fear of old people. And
That's right,
that
that's right.
moment is part of why.
That's a good reason to be afraid of old
It's
people.
because really, other than the fact that she was a old person in the buff, there's nothing scary. That's just an old lady getting out of a tub. Like she's not she doesn't have a knife. She doesn't have a gun.
She just laughs.
She's just a creepy old lady in a tub, butt naked, coming
I
at
love
you.
how it's never explained in the movie.
No,
I read
not at
the
all.
book years later and it's explained. But if you just watch the movie, it's like there's just an old lady taking a bath.
Oh, so it's explained in the book. What is the reason for the old lady in the bath?
There was an older lady that stayed there, and that's where she met the woman that she was the man that she was having an affair with.
Oh.
And so when she was taking, I think I'm saying this right. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, but I think when she was taking a bath, her husband came and actually drowned her in the bath, and so her ghost is forever there.
Oh, that sucks.
I could be totally wrong, but I'm like 50%
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's like not knowing anything.
You could probably believe
that. Sounds about
if
right.
somebody told
I
you
believe
that.
you.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many parts of this. The classic, of course, is this one here. Here's Johnny as
Yeah.
he busts through the door.
Stanley Kubrick actually did not know what that quote was from.
Ah!
Jack Nicholson totally just improv that, and like 157 takes later, they got that one.
Nice. The movie is just, it's creepy as heck. And to this day, I mean, it's still the thing that there's so many people think of when they think of scary hotel stuff or scary out in the middle of nowhere stuff. Is this movie? Yeah,
And the
it's-
music scares the crap out of you,
The
too.
music's scary, yeah. The red rum thing.
Mm-hmm.
My wife still gets freaked out of that. I can go up to her, red rum, and she doesn't like it. This is one that luckily I haven't shown my kid yet. I get in trouble a lot.
You might
I
wanna
show my
wait.
kid too many scary movies, but I'm going to go ahead and wait on this one. This one's going to take a long time to
would,
get
yeah.
to. Yeah, we're not in any hurry to show her this, so we're going to hold off. All right, so that is our classics for this week. Again, stick around in terms of classics for Moby Dick after the show. Up next, it's our goodbye segment. It's our big wrap-up segment. It's Suck Not Suck. All right, so number one, Kevin Smith, director of Mallrats, Clerks, a bunch of other stuff, says that they should make a Batman movie, specifically Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, and let the Mad Max director Frank Miller direct it. I'm guessing that's Frank Miller. Yeah, there he is. He wants him to direct it. He feels like an older Batman with an older director would be great. George Miller, right. Frank Miller's the guy that wrote Dark Knight Returns. So yeah, so George Miller. Kevin Smith says they should make a Batman movie, let George Miller direct it. He did Mad Max Fury Road. Is that going to suck or not suck? It's not even being made at this point. We're just
That
talking
would
about-
not suck.
I don't think that would
I
suck
don't
at all.
see why it would. Yeah.
George Miller is amazing. They've been needing to make The Dark Knight Returns is widely considered one of the best comic books of all time, and it's, to me, for my money, the best Batman storyline of all time.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, I would love to see it. They've done an animated version of it that wasn't great. It was okay. It wasn't great. And actually, the new Superman Batman movie is built around
Oh, is that
one of the
okay.
concepts of. So yeah, when the movie was first announced, they read a quote and they were like, "When you're thinking about this movie, this is what you want when you think about." And it was a quote from the Batman: The Dark Knight
All
Returns
right.
that says, "Clark, I want you to remember that I'm the one man who could beat you." Because it's at the end of the comic book, there is a fight between Batman and Superman,
okay.
and Batman wins. Because Batman's smarter.
Batman's my favorite.
Batman's the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I would love to see that movie. Please, please, please make that movie. And George Miller would be a great choice for it. I'd love to see that. Interestingly enough, the other movie that Kevin Smith kind of talked about wanting to see in terms of the Batman world is the storyline of Hush. Not sure if you're familiar with that one, but
I am not.
It's a great one where it would pull all the villains in, which as they're launching this new DC cinematic universe would be a great way to showcase
yeah.
all the new villains. You'd be able to get to see all of them for little stretches of a time. And then it also sets up this great Batman villain who is a childhood friend of Bruce Wayne, and is actually the whole purpose of his going after Batman is from stuff that happened when they were like 12. Can you imagine that? Like the stuff that you did to other kids when you were 12
Yeah.
haunts you till you're an
doesn't
adult
let it go.
superhero.
That's good.
Aliens, welcome to Earth.
Oof.
Earth. Independence Day 2 has killed off Will Smith's character because he cost too much money.
What?
So I mean, he's the star of the first movie. Him and Jeff Goldblum. Goldblum's going to be in it. Will Smith is not.
Bill Pullman doesn't have to.
Bill Pullman might be in it. I think. I don't know for sure. But they've announced that they've killed him off, and they did it with a fake news story. There's actually a site now called thewarOf1996.com.
That's pretty good.
Because that's what this was. In this
Yeah,
world,
yeah, it was.
there was a giant war against the aliens in 1996. And so for them, there would be like this memorial
In their
of,
world, that was a war.
in
yeah.
their world, this was like, I mean, think about it. This would be the biggest thing that ever happened in our world too. So they have that, and at that site, they have information that Captain Hiller, which was the name of his character, died flying an experimental alien spacecraft.
Did his girlfriend survive?
No, Jasmine, yeah, he
Okay.
survived by Jasmine and her dolphin diamond ring for the wedding ring, and his son, I don't remember his name, but he was the little brother from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. We're gonna bring him back. He's gonna save the world. Welcome to Earth.
I think Ross Bagley played him.
So here you go. Based off just that news, and I gave you way more actually than I was going to. Is Independence Day 2 gonna suck?
After all the information that you gave me, no, it's not going to suck.
No. How could it? As
Well,
long as Pullman gets up there and
yeah.
gives another speech, and I weep like a baby again, because we're going to survive.
We're going
Today
on.
is our Independence Day. Come on. That's a hell of a speech.
But can it be replicated, that moment, the
he
intensity?
could read it word for word, and I'd love
Yeah,
it.
we would probably. Yeah,
I'd love it. That'd be great. All right, next one up. Jennifer Lawrence, star of all the Hunger Games movies, there she is,
Okay.
has said that we should wait before making a Hunger Games prequel. We shouldn't rush into these. I agree, but I'm pretty sure the studio won't.
No, yeah,
Knowing
right.
that the studio probably won't, and we'll just make them anyway, is that going to suck?
I don't think the time will decide whether or not it's going to suck. It'll probably still be good.
I don't think it will.
You know?
Here's the thing. The author wrote the 3 books.
Okay.
They've done the 3 books. That's the story. That's the whole story.
I guess there is a reason why Lucas waited so long to make the parts 1 through 3.
There you go. And prequels
I guess
suck.
those aren't prequels. They're just.
I mean,
the
no,
parts,
they are.
but-
They're prequels. So here's the thing about prequels. I know who's going to live and die
Yeah.
already, and it ruins the movie. I can't worry about
Too many
anybody.
spoilers, yeah.
Because spoilers, they all live. I know they live. I've seen them. It ruins it. Don't make prequels. It sucks. That's going to suck.
So would you say that if they wait,
no,
it would?
I don't think they
Oh,
should
so
ever
you
make
just don't
prequels.
like the idea? At
No
all.
more prequels.
Okay, gotcha.
If you want to make sequels of what happens
That's
10
different,
years after, give it a shot, but no prequels. Next up, new trailer drop for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the Michael Bay ones. Did you see the first one?
I did not.
I saw bits of it online. I downloaded it. It was terrible.
It didn't strike.
So
me
there's
as
really no news attached to that, but what do you think? Is that going to suck?
I'm sure it'll be good. Only if Vanilla
Really?
Ice comes back to do another turtle rap.
If Vanilla Ice comes back
And Super Shredder
and we have
pops up
another turtle
somewhere,
rap, Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go, I'll think about seeing it. But yeah, no, sounds like it sucks.
Yeah.
All right. And last one we got here for news, Tom Hanks That's Colin Hanks.
Hanks. All right.
That's his son, Colin. That's
not-
Jennifer Lawrence
really
again.
Not him.
That's not Tom Hanks at all. That's okay. We're back to Colin Hanks.
This close.
I'm thinking we don't have a picture of Tom Hanks. So Tom
There's
Hanks.
gotta be a picture of Tom. Castaway, Philadelphia, something.
Tom
you know?
Hanks. This is when you have young guys in the booth and they're like, "What? Tom Hanks?" Tom Hanks is currently shooting the third in the Da Vinci Code movies. He's done Da Vinci Code. He did Angels and Demons. I thought Angels and Demons was better than Da Vinci Code.
I did not see Angels and Demons, but
Okay,
I did
it's-
like Da Vinci Code.
Angels and Demons is actually better. It's a
It's
much,
good?
it's a
Okay.
better, more complicated story. I read both the books too. This is the third one, and it's same team: Ron Howard, Tom Hanks, all those
right.
people. He's playing Robert Langley again. I'm sure he'll have the long hair again. Is that going to suck?
No, that'll be good.
I think so too.
I like that idea.
I
Yeah,
love
definitely.
those movies. You cannot give me enough Illuminati treasure hunting.
He plays the
puzzle
character
movies.
really good too.
Yeah.
Like you believe his feelings in the movie.
Yeah. And I love the idea that the hero of the movie is a symbologist. Which is like, you know that all the symbologists everywhere are like, yeah, we matter! And they don't, but it's good to think they do. I mean, it's nice that they have fun with that, so that's good. All right, so that is the show for this week. Next week, it has come. The time has happened. It's here. While you watch this, we're already going to be watching it. It's already going to be out. It's Star Wars, folks. It's Episode 7. That's Star Trek.
Whoa.
That's different. We might talk about that next week. The new trailer drop. That's Sisters. That's also coming out next week. We'll talk about it. That's Jar Jar Abrams.
Oh no.
It's new Star Wars. We're going to have an actual stormtrooper here in the studio. Michael Gomez, a member of the 501st Stormtrooper Division, is going to be here. And then also my buddy Chris Smith, who seems to just be on every other show. He's going to be back too. And he's going to talk about Star Wars with us. So we'll see you next week when we watch that. Have a good night. Oh, if you want to get in touch with the show, you can do that. If you want to be a guest host or if you want to just talk to me and tell me how dreamy I am. The email for the show is bigbms@zoho.com, and our Twitter handle is @big_BMS. So give us a shout out. We'll say hi. Send us a question. We'll read it on the air. Whatever you want to do. We crave to hear from you. So, all right. So that's the show. Thanks so much. Have a good night. Yeah.
We have to stop. It's about to run out of space on the computer.
Huh. Figure this shit out. This is kind of like a problem.
Last time this happened, Skylar went through and deleted everything that
I'm trying to think, like the Geek War stuff, I have the raw footage of all of it. He already deleted it? It's not going to be. There you go.
Yeah, that's the first one.
That only says 2.32. You can still delete it, yeah. I have it, yeah. No, he doesn't edit it. I edit it. And I have it. It's my responsibility.
There you go.
I have